What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Now this is more of a concept video, but if this does pop off a little bit, we might do a part 2. But welcome to Wixo. For our first event, we will be seeing tribal peoples coming together and forming this sort of Tunis nation in the city of Tunis, obviously. But they're going to explore a lot before they settle down in this little peninsula, where the actual city of Tunis is, and they're going to be settling here. Now, this First Nation is really small, but they're going to slowly expand, and they're going to expand into this area. And this is going to be our Red Tunisia Nation. Now, this Tunisian nation will be very low populated, but they will be the first marker of civilization. And they're going to start experimenting with fishing and all that stuff. So they're going to be mainly fishing, and a few fishing boats accidentally get lost over here, and they find this little island of Sicily. Now, they're going to be lost, and they're going to be like, alright, we gotta do something to survive, and they forget about where they came from. So they will be forming a smaller country on Sicily to sort of feed themselves like so, and they're going to establish a quite unique and different way of running their nation. It's going to be through a dictatorship instead of a monarchy, which we are going to see in the red team. So this dictator, he took power very fast, and he's going to be like, all right, well, we need babies, and we're going to force you to have babies. And he's very conservative about it. He's very far right, and his population starts booming because he's literally telling women, hey, make babies or my nation will kill you. And it's a very bad lifestyle to be in, and they're going to explore a lot, and this dictatorship is going to be extremely successful at the start, but we quickly see a civil war happening due to the harshness of the dictator, and this Lime team is going to be trying to break away, but due to the all benefits of this dictatorship, it's going to be very weak, and the Lime team is going to mainly fade out of existence until they move on to this little boot, and they're going to be like, hey, we don't like being around you, so we're going to move. And they move into the boot of Italy, and they're going to set up around right here. Now, they're extremely far from the red team, and the blue team doesn't know about them, so they're going to expand, and they're going to be targeted again and again, but they're going to get pushed back into there, and the blue team no longer cares. So due to Tunis being very developed, they're going to set up a major city, and this is the major city, and then this is the capital. As you can see, they only have one major city, and it's where they traveled from the red team. But over at the red team, they're going to be doing lots of exploration. Now this is going to be happening somewhere around the time of the Lime and Blue Wars. And the Lime and Blue Wars, the red team doesn't know about them. If they did, they couldn't care. But they're mainly focused on themselves, and they're being able to feed their population very well due to the fishing technique. But the people in the blue team are able to find out methods of farming, and the red team's gonna be like, alright, well, we can only fish. We ain't got much to do. So they're going to expand like so. And then, as we see, they meet up with the blue team, and they farm a little bit on more not rivery, but more coastal waters, more wetlands, and they're going to share a little bit of technology, share more information. And then the Lime team does discover more of Italy. Now they're going to be discovering lots of southern Italy and trying to expand. But what we see here is them being targeted again by the blue team, and they can't really do anything, so they start taking their population and leaving. So they're going to be traced back all the way by the blue team, and they're going to be like, alright, so we got one option and one option only, and that's going to be to leave to Albania. And over here, they leave to Albania in this Greek area without telling the blue team at all. and they completely forget about this area. And they don't forget a little bit of the area because the blue team moved into there and they're mapping it out, but they don't tell the blue team anything. And they're very good at running away and hiding, and that's what they do. And the blue team's going to claim all this. They don't actually have it. So what they really have on this map is like this. So let's just say that. That's the developed areas because so much people moved. And the Lime team is now the Albania runaway country. Like so. Now the nation of Tunis is going to set up a capital. Right here, they're going to set up their capital on the Tunis area. Later in history, we see this little Constantinople area start to form tribal groups with another sort of branch of humanity forming around this area. And they're going to be forming like so. They're going to explore a lot and just generally explore more than any other nation before they form a civilization. So they are a bit slower on technology, but they will become a major country pretty soon. So they're going to found right here, they're going to have a major population boost compared to the other countries due to quickly learning to farm because they had to quickly learn how to survive. Unlike other nations, they didn't have different breakaway areas where they could just learn how the other works and then go off of that information. And they're only more recent, so they're going to have to learn how to survive differently than the other nations, and their geography is different. Like these people over here who came all the way down here still relying on mainly fishing. They're trying to use farming. These people mainly using farming, but still using fishing. And these guys are just different. They're using farming, little bits of fishing, like spear fishing, but these guys are way more advanced in fishing than farming. So we're going to slowly see how civilization develops differently compared to other nations. So one thing we see happening here is the red team's going to be like, hey, you're a bad person and we want your resources. So they're going to make a naval landing using their fisherman boats, and the blue team's going to be like, what's this? How are you making this landing? And the blue team are going to propel that invasion, and they're going to send a very, very harsh invasion towards the red team, actually getting very close to their capital, sending many troops there, forming the very first militaries, and they're going to get pushed. And the red team is going to be like, alright, so we want your resources, but we're fine. You killed a lot of our civilians, so they're going to be like, alright, we'll sit down. Nothing's going to change. No border changes. And the red team's gonna slowly steal a little bit of resources and loot, but they can't really do anything the blue team can't. Naval technology is not advanced. One thing we see happening here is these little areas on the Buddha Italy. They're going to be like, hey, we like the Lime team, but we don't know where they went, so we're going to form our own nation. And the Sicilians are going to be like, hey, no, you can't do that. Our dictator's the best. And they're going to be like, no, we can do that. We don't like your dictator. And they're just going to be pushing each other back and forth until they can just find a peace treaty and they have that very small border. And this new Italian nation is going to be like, hey, we want to find the Lime people. And they're going to actually grow in population a lot through just people escaping from the blue team, and some people make the long voyage all the way over here from the red team. Um, they find the Lime team, and they're like, "Hey, Lime team, you're over there, but we can't really move. We got too many people to move." And they're just going to develop their nation right here, and they're going to become close friends with the Lime team. Now, the Lime team's going to do lots of exploration, and they're also going to get a lot of immigrants from the pink team. The pink Italians are going to find immigrants from the Lime team, but mainly the people from the Lime team go to the pink team, so they lose population, but it's constantly in flux. So they're really hating immigration, but they discover this orange team, and they're going to be like, hey, we hate this orange team. they can't speak the same language as us. That's annoying. So they're going to attack each other around over here in Greece, and they're just going to fight constantly, back and forth in this area. Then they leave each other alone. But they're going to be working together to find out what each other are saying, and they finally do. So they're going to be like, hey, we don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you either. And they just expand a little bit. Here we see the pink team and the lime team developing a lot more, and they're going to put their major cities, and I mean capitals, more of right here than over where they started, because they're like, hey, these are our largest cities, this is where all the trade's going, so we're going to start here. And that's where their government's going to properly start forming, like so. And the lime team is going to be like, hey, we want to be a democracy. The pink team is a monarchy. So here we see this new Teslaniki, I believe it's pronounced like that, nation forming in Greece, and they're going to be fairly large because they got people moving in through the pink team and the Albanian team, and they're going to expand quite fast, but they are a more of a monarchy for a more centralized government. But some people in the pink team ain't a fan of the monarch in power, and they say he's a bad leader, and he's too much of a fan of Albania, not his own person. So these people are looking for a more centralized government, and they're going to be starting a monarchy. It's going to be a stricter monarchy than any other monarchy we have on here. But other than that, this is our new Teslaniki nation. Now, with that happening, this will be the end of the episode. Now, if you do want to see more episodes, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is more of just a concept episode to see if y'all would like this instead of me doing Fallout. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye, everyone.